Hello everyone, good evening again. So please confirm, are you able to see my screen? Okay, so let me open the agenda first. Okay, so we have already covered Java in the previous session. Okay, so now today we are going to start our Selenium introduction, and then we will also try to run our first program in Selenium today. Okay. So first of all, what is Selenium? Okay, first of all, we discuss what is the definition of Selenium, and then we will come to what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of Selenium. Okay, so if I talk about definition, okay, so I will simply say Selenium is a set of, you can say, jars to automate web browser like Chrome, Firefox, IE. Okay, so what I'm saying, Selenium is a set of jars. Okay, I will come about what is the meaning of jar here. Okay, but as of now, you should understand that Selenium is a set of jars to automate web browser like Chrome. Chrome is one of our web browser, like Firefox is one of our web browser, like, so that we can automate what the functionality on them. Okay, again I'm saying Selenium is a set of jars to automate web browser. Okay, or you can say on different applications. Okay, so some people have misconception. What is the misconception people have? Uh, Misconception people have that Selenium is a separate tool. Is a separate tool, which is wrong. So let me tell you that Selenium is not a separate tool. Selenium is simply a collection of jar. Okay, so Selenium is simply a collection of jar files. Okay, so as of now, is it clear to you that what is the definition part of Selenium? It is not a separate tool. It is just a collection of jar file. Okay, I will be coming about this. What are these jar files are? Okay, as of now, is it clear to you all? Okay, so you can say here on my screen only that there are some advantages of Selenium and some disadvantages as well. So first of all, the first advantage is open source. So open source in the sense that you do not have to pay the Selenium guys, okay, to use Selenium. Okay, just like if I take the example of QTP, which is a quick test learning. I think it is the full form of this. This is one of the tool to automate our applications. Please mute yourself. Who is because echo is coming. Okay, thank you. So I was saying that Selenium is open source. Open source in the sense, if I talk about one, there is also one tool called QTP, which is a quick test learning. Okay, so this tool is developed by HP. Okay, HP company, but the issue is it is not an open source. You have to pay to the HP guys to use this QTP. Okay, so in case of Selenium, you do not have to pay single penny. Okay, you just have to download all the jars present on from the internet, and then you can happily use Selenium. So this is the very first advantage, you can say, and it is saying that multi-browser support. Okay, so it can automate your applications on. It can work with Chrome browser, Firefox, and I also. Okay, and I think Mozilla, it has also the support for Mozilla browser as well. So as of now, we are considering only Chrome, Firefox, and IE browser, Internet Explorer browser. Okay, so Mozilla as well. Okay, so this is one also. This is also the, you can say, advantage, because it is supporting multiple browser, right? So meaning that you can write the code and you can automate this browser as well. You can work on this browser as well. You can work on Internet Explorer as well. Okay. And coming to third point, the advantage, you can see that it supports many languages. Like here we are dealing with Java with Selenium, but you can see that C Sharp is one of the languages that can be supported by Selenium. Perl is also one of the language, okay, and Python, you can say it is in the trending nowadays, and it is also supported by Selenium. Ruby and PHP are the other two languages that we can use to write the code on Selenium. Okay, so these are the three main advantages of Selenium. So as every coin has two sides, right? So Selenium will also have two sides, which is if I talk about the disadvantage part. So what are the disadvantages of Selenium? Okay, so you can see, uh, first of all, non-reliable technical support from anybody. So even if you face any kind of issue in Selenium while writing the Selenium code, then you will not be provided the support, just like if you can see here, since it is open source, nobody providing the reliable technical support, right? You have to Google, like suppose you have to visit Stack Overflow if you are facing any kind of issue, right? But that but it will not be provided by the Selenium guys, right? If you are facing any issue, Selenium guys will not going to help you because it is open source. And you can see that QTP is a paid version, paid tool, so that its support will be provided, right, by the HP. So this is one disadvantage of the Selenium, that you will not be getting any kind of technical support from them. Okay, so this is one disadvantage. And suppose second disadvantage is that it can support web-based application only. Okay, so web-based means that whatever the sites I will open on my browser, right, it will be able to automate only those applications, right? If I talk about this, suppose if I open Excel, okay, it will not be able to automate this application. Okay, if I talk about suppose you can say Paint. If I have to automate this Windows application, right, it will not be able to automate. So one disadvantage is that it will support only web-based application, okay, only. So is it clear to you that what are the advantages and disadvantages of Selenium? Please confirm once. Okay, thank you very much. So okay, so before we go into our Selenium, let's discuss two more things. Okay, first is if you have to work on Selenium, right? If you have to work with Selenium, you should have Java in your system. First of all, you should have Java installed, and path of Java should be set in your system. This is one prerequisite, right? Should be set. Please mute yourself. Okay, so what I was saying, that you can see here that first of all you have to install Java. Okay, so how you will going to get Java, let me show you quickly. Okay, I hope many of the people are doing it, but let me show it again. So so first of all, how we will know that whether Java is already installed in my machine or not? Okay, so I will simply type cmd. Okay, come, sorry, you are, yeah, I am recording this session. You can see here, if I open this, see that I am recording this session, no issue. Okay, is it clear? Okay, I think it is clear. So what I was saying, if you have to check whether Java is installed in your system or not, just type Java hyphen version. Okay, so you can see here, in my machine Java is already installed, right? So okay, I will also tell you that how you are getting this on your system. So just type, if you do not have Java in your system, just type Java JDK download. Okay, and open this first website, okay, which is www.oracle.com, and you will land on this page, and here you have to click this JDK download. Okay, and after that you will come here. You can see these are the two files, you can say, for Windows 64-bit. Okay, so I will suggest you to download this zip one, last one. Okay, so when you click it, it will, you have to check this box, and after that it will ask you for sign up. Okay, so let me, okay, it is not asking, so it has directly started downloading. You can see on the screen. Okay, so as of now I am just Okay, so I'm just canceling it because I have already Java in my system, right? So no point of downloading it again. So if you do not have Java in your system, just follow these steps and download this file, okay? Zip file. Okay, after downloading zip file, what you have to do? You have to extract the content of the zip file. Okay. So after that, you can see what we have to do. We have to set it is this step is also not sufficient to get Java in your system. After that, you have to do one thing. You have to set the Java path in your system. Okay, I will be telling you how. Let's suppose, first of all, let us see where in my system Java is installed. Okay, I will go to advanced system setting and then you have to click this environment variable. Okay, after that, you can see this is the path. Let me copy it first. Let me open this. So when you will download zip file, okay, so you can see after you have downloaded, this is the one. The contents of the zip file will look like this. You can see here, this is the contents when you download the zip file and you extract it. This is the content of the zip file. Okay, so after that you can see the di bin directory as well. There are so many Java files. These are all the Java files, you can say. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to tell uh, where exactly in your system Java is located. Okay, so the reason why we are setting this Java in your system is, see, actually what happen when you are trying to write any Selenium code. Okay, suppose we will going to write Selenium code in our Eclipse browser. Okay, so what will happen, at Selenium by default do not know where your Java is located in your system. Okay, Selenium do not have any knowledge of it. So what Selenium will do, Selenium will come first to your environment variable. Okay, so Selenium will talk to your environment variable and he will know, okay, so this is the path where Java is located. Okay, and then with the help of this, Selenium will go there and execute all the Java files which are necessary for the program execution. Okay, so this is the reason you should understand that why we are setting the Java path in our system. Okay, so for setting the Java path, what you have to do, first of all, after extraction of the file, just copy this entire path. Okay, copy this file entire path and then come to this PC. Okay, and just click it. Okay, so again I am saying, just search this PC here, right click and come to property. Okay, after that click advanced system setting. Okay, and after that, what you will do, you have to come here, new, and just type Java home, Java underscore home. Okay, so guys, I have one urgent call. Can you just please give me 5 minutes? I am coming just in 5 minutes. Okay, please. Okay, just 5 minutes. I am coming. Hello, sir. Good evening. सर वो मैंने कॉल किया था, वो आपने कहा था ना आज बता दो आपको। सर स्थिति तो बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं है, मतलब मैं आपको वैसे कल बताना भूल गया था। तो मतलब मैंने नोटिस करा है, जैसे कोई भी साउंड हो रही है ना, कोई भी साउंड हो रही है, जैसे अचानक से कि दरवाजा बंद हुआ या फिर अचानक से बहुत तेज साउंड हो गई या फिर अचानक से ऐसे मोबाइल पे कोई टेक्स्ट मैसेज आया अचानक, तो मुझे वो हो रहा है, क्या बोलते हैं, जर्क लग रहा है, वो सेंसेशन। तो सही तो नहीं है सर। सर पेन तो नहीं है नेक में मेरी। सर वो चक्कर नहीं, मैं आपको बताऊँ ना, वो जर्क की वजह से ही मतलब मुझे थोड़ा वो लग रहा है, जो जर्क हो रहा है मुझे बार बार। पेन तो नहीं है सर बिल्कुल। सर नींद तो बहुत बढ़िया आई रात को। मतलब सो रहा, मतलब सोने में थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है क्योंकि वो जर्क आते हैं, लेकिन सो जाता हूँ फिर तो पता नहीं पड़ता है। अच्छा, तो खाता रहूँ फिर मैं अभी मेडिसिन। ठीक है सर, ओके। ठीक है सर, ओके, थैंक यू। और hello. Okay, so thank you for your cooperation. Okay, so where we are, am I audible, right? Okay, so where we were setting our how to set your Java path. Again, let me show you. Just click new here, and suppose variable name is, you can give any variable name, right? Suppose if I give like this Java underscore home, and just paste the path here. Okay, So this is the one I was saying, that you have to first paste the where your Java is located, okay, and just press OK. So I'm not pressing OK as of now, because you can see I am already having this path, okay, Java underscore home, okay. So you have to set this and then click on OK, okay. But before that, before clicking OK, just click here as well, this path that will already be present in your system when you come to this environment variable. Just double click it, and inside that, what you have to do, uh, you have to click this bin folder, okay, and just copy this path as well. And what you have to do, come here, and in this path just create a new path, okay. So see, after clicking on new, and just paste this path, okay. So I think, see, I am already having this path, you can see the third last, okay, in my machine I am already having. So I am again not going to uh, insert it, okay. So what you have to do, if you do not have Java, paste this path as well, okay. As of now I am not adding, and then just click OK, okay. After that, click OK, and just open the OK, click OK here as well. So by doing this step, Java will be installed and Java path will be set in your system. And if you have to check it, just type in the coming to command prompt Java hyphen version. So you can see, if you are getting any kind of error, then if you are not seeing this, then you have done some mistake in setting the Java path, okay. So this is how we have set Java in our you can say system. Is it clear to you? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, okay, let us come to one more point. So Java we have already set, you have seen just now. Okay, so one thing I would like to discuss. Okay, so we are working on Eclipse, okay. I am again saying, again showing it one more time, right? If you do not have Eclipse in your system as well, just go here in this website, and just click here, okay, download packages. Click here. Okay, after you will download the package, then you can come here. So I think this is the one. Wait a minute. Eclipse IDE for, so you have to download this one, you can see. Okay, this is the one. You have to click this 64-bit. Okay, after that, that will appear and you have to just click download. Okay, so automatically your file will start downloading. So after you have extracted that file, see, this is again a zip file, okay. So I have already extracted. After that, you will get your Eclipse like that. Let me show you. So I have already created a shortcut. If you want to see where it is located, let me open this. Open file location. So after you will extract your file, okay. So these are all the, you can see, folders and the exe files that will be present in the folder, okay. So how you will start your Eclipse, okay, just click this, not this one, okay. This is the shortcut I have created. So you will click this, double click it, okay. After that, it will ask you for a path where you have to form your project, okay. So you have to provide the path first. So let me open this as well. So here I am not using ready-made path. Let me just create one new folder. Okay, let me create a new folder in my E drive only. So if I click here, okay, then write, I will go inside my this E directory, and then I will create one new folder. Suppose the folder name I define is new project. So this is why I'm creating the folder, because when I will select this path in the Eclipse, okay, this path, so whatever the project files which I will create will come here, okay. So it will be easy for me if I have to open my project. So path, defining the path is very important. So I will just copy this, okay, this is the path I will copy, and I will just paste it here, okay. This is my new path, okay. Uh, then I will launch it. Let us wait for the Eclipse to open. So when you will launch it for the, if you have created a new path, and it will take some time, right? If you have created a new path, otherwise it will open fast. Sometimes it will take. Okay, so after the Eclipse will open, you will see this kind of okay UI. Click this workbench. Okay, so workbench is the area where we are going to create our project. Okay, so after that this screen will open. Okay, so to do, first we have to make a new project. Okay, so just create a you can say create a Java project only. Okay, create a Java project, and suppose I will name this project as Selenium hyphen demo. Okay, so this is the, because we are working with Selenium, so I have given this name similar to this. Okay, so this is my project name, and just click on finish. So it will take some time, and after that your, okay, so it is saying that okay, you can create okay you can ignore this. Okay, so it has created me one, you can see. Okay, let us wait, it is loading again. Okay, so I think it has loaded, and I will suggest you to just you can say delete this. Okay, if you are seeing any kind of file, because we do not require it, because sometimes I've seen that this file gives unnecessary error. Okay, so better to remove it. Okay, and inside that I will create one new package. I hope you all be knowing by this time that how to create a package. So if I have to create a package, let's, the package name is test1. Okay, test1 is my package name. Okay, after that what I will do, what I have to do, I will simply create one class in this package. Okay, so class is where I will write my test cases. Okay, so if I create a class, so I will simply write a Selenium, let me write it in a small, Selenium demo 1. Okay, so this is my class name, and you, if you check this, then you will get this line by default. Okay, otherwise you have to write it by your own. Okay, so I will click this, and you can see one class is created. Okay, so till here, is it fine that how we are going to create a class? Then I will move forward. Please confirm once. Okay, so here only. Okay, so one more point. Let me. Okay, so understand this. Okay, let us understand how we are giving. See, as of now, whatever the code you will write. Okay, so you will going to write a Selenium code here only. Selenium code will be written in your Eclipse code. Eclipse. Okay, it will be written in Eclipse only. Okay, so one thing you should understand, by default, okay, this Eclipse, you can say Eclipse, do not have any knowledge of your Selenium. Okay, what is Selenium? He do not know. So how you will how you will going to give knowledge of Selenium to your, you can say to your Eclipse. Okay, how you will going to give that information? So what I have told you, that Selenium is a collection of jar file, right? So jar files will help Eclipse to get knowledge of Selenium. Okay, so this is the way. If we import jar files, then what will happen? Eclipse will have the knowledge of Selenium. Okay, so this is step is mandatory. Otherwise, your Eclipse will not recognize what are the Selenium code you are writing, right? So this is the step, and how we are going to do this step. See this. First, I will have to download this jar file. Okay, so what I will come here in my browser. Okay, I will write Selenium jar download. Okay, you can click this Selenium jar download, and after you will hit enter, you can come to this site, first site. This is the official site of Selenium. Okay, www.selenium.dev. Click this file, and after that come here in the bottom. You can see here, see we are dealing with Java language. Okay, we are not worrying about other languages, we are only focusing on Java language. Okay, so this is, you have to come here and download this. Okay, so this is a link. After you download this, you will get some jar files in your system. Let me click download. Okay, so you can see that it is already downloaded very fast. Let me wait. I think it has downloaded, and when you have to click on show in folder. Okay, so let wait for the few seconds. Okay, I think it is not opening. Okay, so now I think it will work. So it has downloaded successfully, and I will click show in folder. Okay, so you can see this is the folder. Okay, first it is a zip file, so I will extract it. Okay, I will click this extract all, and after that I will click show extracted files when complete, so that I will easily, I do not have to navigate it. Right, it will open it for me. So you can see after the file extraction, this is the this is the, you can see if I hover it, what it is saying, executable jar file, right? You can see the Java icon present. Okay, so see this is also one jar file, executable jar file, right? You have to worry about only this one. Okay, these are the two jars, and if you click this folder, you can see 5 jars are also present here, right? So what these jar files will do, these jar files will help Eclipse, okay, to understand what is your Selenium code, what is the Selenium code you are writing. It will help the Eclipse. Okay, so what you have to do, first you have to import these files so that Eclipse will have the knowledge of jar file, and ultimately Eclipse will have the knowledge of your Selenium code. Okay, so what I will do, first of all, let me copy this path. Okay, and I will come to Eclipse. This is the what we are working on, and see this is my project name, Selenium-demo. I will right click my project. Okay, again I'm saying I will right click my project and come to property. Okay, so after that, come here on the Java build path. I will click it. Okay, and then you have to come libraries, right? After that, you will see these module path and class path. So you have to, okay, you have to import all your jar files inside this class path. So how we are going to import the jar file in this class path? How, you can see here. See, as these jar files are located in my external, you can say external directory, right? So I will just click add external jar. Okay, because it is in my local system. So I will just click this. Okay, then I will provide the path which I have copied. I will click and hit enter. You can see, yes, select both file and just click open. So you can see two jar files have imported into the Eclipse, but we are left with 5 more jars, okay, which are in libs folder. So again I will click this class, first click it class path, and then click add external jar. Okay, come to this folder. Okay, select all these jar file, and that's it. Okay, so you can see we have imported all the jar files in our Eclipse, and just click apply. You can see some kind of downloading is happened there, right? I don't know whether you are able to see it or not, but it has just executed something, and after that apply and close. So what happened, whatever the Selenium code will you write now, okay, Eclipse will recognize it, because we have imported jar files in it. So this is how we can give knowledge of Selenium test cases, or you can say knowledge of Selenium code to our Eclipse with the help of jar file. So is it clear to you how we have imported jar file and how to paste it in the Eclipse? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. About the, okay. See how we have to set the you can say jar files in our system in your Eclipse. Sorry, just right click the, this is our project. Right click and then go to property. Okay, you will see so many here. You have to click in Java build path. Okay, Java build path, and come to this third one, libraries folder. Okay, here after just click on class path. Okay, and click on this add external jar, because we are clicking add external jar because it is present in my local system, right? So I will click this and just provide the path where you have installed your, you can say, Selenium jars. So this is the one. Okay, this is the one where I have installed my Selenium Java jars. So just copy these two and click on open. Okay, and just after that copy all these and just click on open. Okay, I have already done. This is the reason I am not clicking on open again. After that you will see these many 7 jars, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 jars will be imported to your Eclipse. So is it clear? After that you have to click apply and then apply and close. So this is the only step you have to do. Okay, So let's begin with our Eclipse program now. Okay, so this is the main thing. We have set up Java in our system. We have also set jar files. Okay, so we have given our Selenium knowledge to your Eclipse. So coming about coding part. Okay, so suppose if you let me open WordPad again. Okay, so note here, if I have to run my test case, you can see, or you can see the Selenium code, or you can say the test case, right? Ultimately, you are going to write manual test cases in automation mode. Okay, so you are writing test cases only in the form of inside the Java class. So if I have to run my Selenium code, or you can say the test cases in Chrome browser, then Chrome driver is the class you can use. Okay. Second thing, if I have to, let me copy this again, then I will read it out for you. If I have to run my Selenium code in Firefox browser, then Firefox driver is the class you can use. Okay. If I have to run my, let me again paste it. If I have to run my in Internet Explorer, right? This time IE browser, then I think it is a Internet Explorer. Okay, this is the driver, Internet Explorer driver is the class you can use. Okay, so this is the first class. Chrome driver is the class. Firefox driver is a class, and this is also a class. Okay, so if you have to invoke your test case, or you can say the Selenium code on the Chrome browser, then you have to use this class. If you have to use it on the Firefox browser, then you can use this class. Okay, this is a class which will help you to run a Firefox browser. And if you have to run your test cases on this, you can say Internet Explorer, right? Then this is also a class. Okay. So how we are going to use this? See. So let me open Eclipse again. Suppose I am first starting with Chrome. Chrome. First starting with. See. Okay. One more point. Let me tell you. Starting with Chrome. See, Selenium will work on with you can see the Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome as well. But as far as I know, that Selenium is more stable with Chrome browser, right? See, it will work on Firefox browser as well. But I am saying if you run Selenium code with a Firefox browser, then chances are that there may be some kind of errors you might face, which will not be seen in Chrome browser, right? So, as a for learning purpose, okay, I will suggest you to go with Chrome browser only. Okay, so you should not go with other Firefox or Internet Explorer browser. Chances are that you might face some kind of unnecessary error because Selenium is not stable with Firefox and IE, but it is more stable with Chrome. So here I am first coming to Chrome browser. So how you are going to invoke Chrome browser in your system? So first of all, so as I have already told you that Chrome driver is the class. Okay, D will be capital. Okay, so what I will do, I will first create the object of this Chrome driver class. So how I will create the object? Suppose my object name is driver. Okay, and after that I will write new Chrome. So I hope you know how to create the object of any class. Okay, but see, it is throwing one error. Let me see what is the error. So it is saying import Chrome driver, right? This is a package. Okay, inside that package there is a class. So let me tell you one thing. If you have not imported jar file, right? If you have not imported jar file in your system, then you will not see that import line, right? So this is the reason we are seeing this import line, import package line. So I will import this, and you will see that error will be gone. So we have created one object of this class, okay, so that you can trigger your you can say Chrome browser, right? But this step is alone not sufficient. Okay, this step is alone not sufficient to trigger Chrome browser. Okay, we have to do one more step. Okay, so let me open my Excel. So this is the class. Okay, you can see this is the class. If I hover my mouse, it is saying that C. Okay, this is a one class. So inside this class, this Chrome driver class, let me open my Excel. Okay, so as you can see, if I talk about let me remove this first. Okay, so inside this class, which one, this is the class. Inside this Chrome driver class, there is one property which Selenium guys have defined, right? There is one property. This is the property name, WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver. This is one property name. And okay, so first of all, why we are setting the property, let us understand this. See, you can see Selenium by default, whoever has created Chrome browser, or you can say whoever has created Firefox browser, right? These guys are not allowing any third party tool like Selenium, right? They are not allowing Selenium directly to run their, you can say, browser, okay, directly. Okay, because Selenium is a third party for, you can say, Chrome browser people, right? So they are not allowing Selenium directly to run their Chrome browser, but they have provided one driver. Okay, what is the driver? Let me first download that driver, right? So what is the driver I am talking about? This is the driver, Chrome driver download. Okay, so these Chrome driver guys have told Selenium, right? Understand this, that they have told Selenium that you will not be able to invoke our browser directly, but we are providing one Chrome driver.exe file which will help you to trigger your Chrome browser, okay, with the help of Selenium. So first of all, how we have to download this? First of all, go here, uh, this customize and control Google Chrome, come to help and then come to about to Google Chrome. So here you will see the version, right? So this is the version. Let me copy this version first. Okay, after that, see here, this is the version. Let me paste it here. You can see here. So what will be the suitable one for me? You can see here 85.0.4183. So it is quite close to this number. Okay, so I will download this, you can say, Chrome driver file. So I will click this, and if you see whether your system is 64 or 32, it doesn't matter. You can just download this 32 bit. Okay, they have just provided 32-bit version of Chrome driver.exe file. So click this and see it will start download. Okay, so after it has finished download, as it is a zip file, then you have to click show in folder and then just extract this file. So I will click extract all and then click on extract. So it has extracted the file, and you can see inside this is the one executable file, right? So Selenium guys, so Chrome guys have provided this file .exe file to the Selenium, saying that you will not be able to invoke our Chrome browser directly, but with the help of this .exe file, okay, you will be able to do this. So we will see how. Okay, so I will just copy this path where my this file is located, Chrome driver.exe file. Okay, so as I have told you, inside this Chrome driver class, the Selenium guys have defined one property. And what is the property? This WebDriver.Chrome.driver. And this property expects what? This property expects where your Chrome driver.exe file located. So what is the path? This is the path, right? Where our Chrome driver.exe file is present. So I'm saying, let me open this again. This is the class, okay, and inside this class there is one property which is this WebDriver.Chrome.driver, right? This is the property. Okay, and that property expects the path to where this Chrome driver, let me write it here, driver.exe file present. Okay, so this property needs to know the path where this file is present, right? So I provided the path. So what I will do, I will write one statement, you can see here before this line. Okay, I will simply write system dot set property, right? System is a class and set property is a method. Okay, let me write it again, dot set property. You can see this is the one. See, this is the key. Key is what? Key is our property name. So I will write my property name here, webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay, and after that, what you have to write? You have to provide the path. So what is the path? You can see here. This is the path to this file, this .exe file. I will copy this file and just I will come here and then on double click, not double click, I will just paste that path here. Okay, after that path, one more thing you have to do. Okay, people forget this step and then they say that we are getting the error. After that file, what you have to do? Okay, let me write it here only. You have to provide the file name with extension. What is the file name? Chrome driver is our file name. .txt is the extension, right? So this is the only step you need to do. After that, it is asking for semicolon. Okay, so I have provided semicolon at the end, which is mandatory. So after doing this step, what you have done? Again, I am saying why we are using this step, because for Chrome browser, you can say Chrome browser who have whatever the guy who have developed Chrome browser, he has said that Selenium is a third party tool for me. I will not allow Selenium directly to invoke my Chrome browser, but to so that Selenium can invoke my browser, I have provided one .exe file, right? This is the .exe file which we have downloaded. You can see this is the file, right? I have provided this file. So you just with the help of this file, you can successfully invoke your Chrome, okay, with the help of Selenium code. So we have just set the property. This is the property which is present inside this class, and this property expects the path where our Chrome driver.exe file is located, right? And just provide the extension at the end, which is mandatory. So this is the two step which is mandatory. Okay, after that you will be able to invoke your Chrome browser on your desktop. So is it clear to you that how we have set the path and all? Okay, so let us check whether it is invoking or not. Okay, let me run this. Just you have run your Java program in your Eclipse. Just right click and then one Java application, right? Click OK. I'm just okay. Let me click OK. So I think it should invoke. So see, you can see it has started Chrome driver, Chrome browser. Okay. So as a, please mute yourself. Okay. So where we were, this is the one, right? So this is the, you can see this is the Chrome browser, right? You are not seeing any website displaying here because we have not provided one, right? So it is just opening one Chrome browser for you, right? So this is how, again I'm saying how we have done. Just right click and then click this. So it will just open your Chrome browser. You can see that, wait, where the, okay, so you can see that it has opened Chrome browser, right? Okay. So after that, just click close this. Okay. So suppose if I have to, you can say I have to open google.com. So how I will going to do it? See here. So you can say this is our object. We have created the object of this class. So I will simply write, there is one method which is get. So you can see this is the method. Okay. Inside this, just pass the URL of the website. So let me open the Google website only. So this is the website. Okay, you can see. I will just simply copy the URL of google.com and then I will paste it here. Okay, so this is the only step you have to do to open google.com in the Chrome browser. Let us check whether it is opening correctly or not. So let me click OK. So you can see here that it is open google.com. So this, with the help of, let me write it here also. With the help of, you can say, methods in Selenium. Let me write this one. So first, what method we have discussed? Get method. Okay, so this is the method you can use. Get. Let me write this. Okay, driver.get. Let me write like this as well. Driver.get. Okay, this is the method you can use to open any URL on the Chrome browser. Right. Let me put double quotes here as well. So inside this double quote, you have to pass your uh, website URL. So let me open one more website and we can check whether it is opening the correct one or not. So let me open, like, suppose if I have to open Amazon.com, right? Amazon.com. So this is the one. Okay, I will just simply copy this website URL. I have copied the website URL. Then come here. Okay, and then let me, okay, just paste it here. Okay, so that this time what will happen, Amazon website will going to open. I will click OK. See, it has opened Amazon website with the help of get method, right? So is it clear to you that how we are going to use get method to open any website? Please confirm once. Okay, so okay, one we will see couple of methods as well. Okay, so you can see, I hope you all will be knowing that this is the title of the website. If I open it in a maximize mode, this is the title, right? So what if I have to print the title? Okay, first of all, why we are going to print the title? So suppose what will happen in projects, you have to test whether you are landing on the correct website or not, right? So just in that case, what I will do, I will just say, okay, I will match the title whether I am getting the correct title or not. So this is the title I want to fetch. So how I am going to do that? Okay, let me, I think, close this. So what I will do, I will simply say driver. See, you can see here, you do not have to remember anything. This is the beauty of Selenium. You can say Eclipse. All the methods will be provided to you, right? You just have to. So what I have to do, I have to get the titles. So I will, what I will write, I will write get, and then I will write t. You can see this is the method. So it is saying that it will return you a string variable, right? So I will click this. So you can see after that it will get you the title, but you have to get the title. It will return you the title in string format, so you have to catch that in a string variable first. Then only you will be able to print that, right? So let me write the variable image title. So after that, what I will do, I have to print this title in my console so that I will be knowing that whether we are landing on the correct website or not. So I will just print the title variable here. Okay, let me check whether it is printing or not. So I will click OK. So it has opened Amazon website again. And this time I think in the console you can see this is the our title, online shopping site in India. So you can see it has printed the website title here. Okay, so this way we can check whether we are landing on the correct website or not. Okay, is it clear to you that how we are using this title get title method? Let me write it here also. Second method which we have discussed is driver dot get title. So is it clear to you? This is the second method. This is the second method which we have discussed. Okay, so if I come to this page, so as of now you have not put any if else condition, right? You have to put one if else condition, then you are only going to verify. Here we are just fetching that title, just fetching. Okay, you can put one if else condition. Let me show you quickly. uh, okay, so you can say that this is my original title which should be present in the website. So I will copy this. So I will simply write one if else condition here. If okay, so what is the expectation from this? I want string original, okay, equals to, so this is the one. Okay, so this is the title. Okay, so it has we have copied it successfully. If I then I will say, and if let me write it this way, title extracted, right? This is the title which we have extracted from the you can say browser, right? And this is the title, and let me write it here as well. Okay, so if I will say if this is the one we are expecting, if original dot equals, if original dot equals, this is how you can compare two strings, right? I hope you all will be knowing from Java. So we are just writing that Java code here only. It if that will be equal to the title which we have extracted, right? So I will just what I will do, I will simply write this. If we are getting both the, you can say both the strings same, then I will say system dot out of println, yes, title is correct. This is the way we can verify, right? Here in that method it is just extracting the title, not verifying, but we have provided one Java code. So yes, title is correct. So let us also check whether it is printing or not. And if the else part, suppose you have extract, you can say suppose if I am extracting this, you can see, let me open Amazon again. So after extraction, suppose the text is something distorted, right? So in the else condition, what you will write? If you are not getting the same title, you will say title do not match, some issue with the website. Title do not match, some issue with website. So this way you can easily say, you can easily verify everything, right? The title, whether the title of the website is correct or not, right? So I will just simply say and try to run it, right? You will say this time it is correct, so it will print this one only. If condition just title is correct, it will be printed in your output. Let us check also. I think it has opened our website. So you can see first it has printed the title, this one, and after that title is correct because the original and the text which we have extracted are same. So it is saying that yes, title is correct, so we have validated our title. So is it clear to you all that how we have validated our title? Okay, so okay, we will let us discuss one more method. So okay, I am removing this code as of now. Okay, you can see in the recording later. So let me remove this and let me. Okay, so suppose what is this? If I open this Amazon website, if I right click it, if I right click it, okay, I think my right click is not working. Okay, it is working. If I click this, so what is this inspect? If you try to inspect it, and if you click this, and you will click dock to bottom. So this is the code. You can see this is the HTML code. I will say they have written to create this website. So what if you have to get this whole page source in your console? So first of all, you will see that we are able to click right click it, and then we can inspect it and we are getting the code. Then what is the why we are using the Selenium to get this whole page source? So sometimes what will happen? I hope you have seen some banking websites where right click is not allowed yet, right? So right click is not allowed. So in that way, in that case, you will know how you will know that uh, whether what is the source of this page, what is the code of this page. So with the help of Selenium, you can do that also. You will get this whole code, lines of code in your console, right? How you can see this? This is a very simple method. So what I have to do? I will just say I have to get the page source. Okay. So the method name is also the same. Get. I will write page. You can see this is the you can say, and it will return with a string format value. So I have to catch that in the string variable, right? So it will return with the code of the page. So I will, if I click this, and then let me put one place. I think it is throwing one error because of it. Okay, so it is returning us something in the form of string. Okay, so I will simply catch it as well. String s equals to this. Okay, and I will just print that code here this way. So if I try to run this time you will see whatever the code they have used to write that is Amazon.com will be printed in your output. So you will be able to see what is the code. Let us check. So it has opened Amazon website. So I think it has pasted the code. You can see on the back. See, this is the whole code offline. Let me maximize it. See, whatever the code that is given on that website is printed here. So this way, even if you are not able to right click on the website, you can use that get page source method, right? So that whole code of that website will be presented to you. So is it clear to you that how we have used this method? So let me write it here as well. Let me write here. Third method is get page source. Is it clear to you? Okay. So let us see one more method. Okay. So as of now you are seeing. Let me run it again. Okay. So this is the one. Let me run it again. So here you will see your browser will open in minimize mode, right? You will see here. So it is not expanding automatically, right? If I want that my every time when I run the code, my browser should be opened like this one, okay, every time. So what is the code you can do? There is one simple line you can write to open this Chrome browser in maximize mode. So what is that? You can see here. So if I write, okay, before let me write it here. Okay, after this line, okay, if I write driver dot, okay, there is one method which is called manage. This is a method. Inside that method there is one more method which is windows. Okay, let me write it clearly. There is also one more method window. Inside this method window there is also one more method which is maximize, right? So if you write like this, what will happen? Automatically your Chrome browser will be open in maximize mode. Okay, let me write it here as well. It will open it in maximized mode. Okay, so let me try to run this whether we are getting the correct output or not. So this time what will happen? Chrome browser will run in maximized mode. So it will maximize it. You can see it has automatically maximized, and then whatever the code you have written, it will be executed. So this way you can open this browser in maximize mode by writing like this. You can see here driver dot manage dot windows dot maximize, right? So let me copy this here as well on my WordPad that we have discussed this method as well. So this is also one of the method. Okay, so this way you can open the browser in the maximize mode. So is it clear to you all? Please confirm. Okay, so as of now you can see. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no issue. Which one? Which one? Which one? Yeah, suppose you are okay. Suppose how I will say. Suppose you have to. I will come to the locator part later on. Suppose if you have to work on this one, okay. Suppose you have to click this, okay. If you have to click this, then you have to first know what is the code written. I will come to this how you have to click this in this lecture only. If you have to, but if you do not know what is the coding part of this button, then how you will going to click it? So this is the reason page source will help you, right? We will going to in this way only. That you can let me first open this. I will click dock to bottom, and suppose if I click this, okay. Let me. Okay, so it is again loaded. Okay, I think I have to go back first. Okay, so if I click this again, so you can see. Uh, I think this is the one, right? So this is the code they have written. I think this is the code. So you have to know the class name first, then only you will be able to click it, right? So in Selenium, we have to do this way only. Suppose if I click this, say if I click this text box, right? So you can see the ID of the text box is given. So if you know the ID, then only you will be able to click on that particular, or you can say not click, you have to send some here, send some suppose text. Suppose you have to send mobile here. So you have to first know what is the ID of this, what is the code of this, then only you will be able to do that function. So is it clear to you that why the page source is important? Okay, thank you. So what we have to see? Okay, so as of now I have told you in only one browser, right? So let us suppose do with this activity in Firefox browser as well. Okay, so I have already told you that if you have to invoke your Chrome, if you have to invoke your test, this is this class is one separate test, right? You can say that if you have to invoke this on the Firefox browser, so how you are going to do that? So as of now, I am commenting this. Okay, let me comment this as well, and I think I do not require this one. Okay, so let me remove this as well. So I have already told you that Firefox driver is one class. Firefox driver driver equals to new. So I have again created the object of this class. So again it will throw one error because I have not imported the package. So just place your mouse over here and then it will. Okay, so it is also saying that make the D capital. I think I have made some mistake. Fire. Okay, so F is small here. Sorry for that. F is small here. Firefox. Okay, so after that you can see it is saying just import the package. Okay, after that error will be gone. So like this, just like the Chrome driver class, this class has one property. Just like this, just like the Chrome driver class has one property, so this class will also have one property, and that property name is, you can see here, this is the, let me remove this. This is the property name WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. This is the property, and this, for this also Firefox also, whoever the guy who have developed Firefox browser, right, he is also not allowing Selenium to directly run his browser, right, but he has provided one .exe file for that, right, and that file is gecko driver, right. That file name is gecko driver is the file, just like Chrome driver, right. Here the file name is gecko driver.exe for Firefox. So you have to first download this file. How you will download? Again the same, just go here and then just say gecko driver download. Okay, so this is the one. I think you will get it from let's say, suppose this is the one, I think, and they have given the link here, I think. So let us wait for the site to load. I think, see, here it is the page. Okay, so this, from this you can get that .exe file. I will paste that link in the classroom as well, or let me write it in my WordPad, so we do not have to again and again come to other website. So this is the website, gecko driver download Firefox. Okay, so this is the website. Okay, you have to go here and then let us say what is this website is saying. Okay, let me remove, close this as well. So this is the one. Okay, so here you can see, that there are so many versions of that gecko driver. Okay, so I will download this one because my system is 64-bit. Okay, so I will download this one. So let us download this file. So you can see that it has started downloading. Also one more thing, you should check that whether Firefox browser is present in your system or not. Okay, so you can see that this is already present in my system. If not, then just download it. Okay, so you have to download this browser first, otherwise it will not work. So I have downloaded this gecko driver file, and then I will click show in folder, and then what I will do, I will simply extract it content, extract all, and I will click extract. So here you can see that this is the file, .exe file. This is the path of the file. I will click copy the path and simply come to my Eclipse part, and you can see here, this time we have created the object of this. So what I have to set the property, again I will use system.set property, just like we have done for, you can say, Chrome browser. This is the property name WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. Okay, after that, what is it expecting? It is expecting the path of that .exe file. So what is the path? This is the path, and along with this, that path I have told you in Chrome driver as well, you have to mention the file name as well at the end. Okay, so I think this is the one. I will write gecko driver.exe. Okay, extension is .exe format. So after that, I think this is more than sufficient to trigger our Firefox browser. Okay, let us check whether it is invoking Firefox browser or not this time first. Then we will try to open site and do all the stuff. Let us see whether it is working or not. So you can see that it has started running Firefox browser this time. Okay, so you can see that it has just started Firefox browser, right? Here you have not provided any website. This is the reason that it is not opening any website. So let us open google.com here. How I will, rest of the code will be same, driver.get. So what is the website which we have to open? Suppose this is the one. I think this is the one, right? Amazon is the one. We have to open it on Firefox. So I will simply write this I will right click and then click run as one Java application. Okay, and then I will click this. You can see here it will open, I think, what Amazon website. So you can see that with the help of this, how we can invoke our Firefox browser as well. Okay. So is it clear to you? Just little change you have to do in case of Firefox. Please confirm. Okay, I hope it is clear to you all. So as I've told you earlier that I will work on Chrome browser many of the time because it is more stable than Firefox. Okay, so here whatever the coding part I will write, I will do it in Chrome. So as of now, I do not require it. Let me comment it out. Okay, I will work with Chrome only. I will remove this and this one as well. So let me remove this as well. So this is for the Chrome one. So I am uncommenting it, and this is for Chrome browser. Okay. So I think this is more than sufficient, and then I will. Okay. So I think okay. As of now, you are seeing that I am writing this. Okay, and if I have to trigger my test case on Firefox browser. Okay, so I have to write like this. String name fire. Okay. Let me import the package as well. Okay, again small f will come here, and I think it will be small f. Okay. So suppose the object name is driver 2. Okay, so I have to write 2 here. Okay, so what will happen, suppose after some line of code, okay, again you have written some line of code here. Okay, some line of code you have written, some line of code you have to run it in, suppose different browser, right? Suppose you have to run this in a, you can say Chrome again. So you can say if I have to write it in the Chrome again, I have to again click this line, I have to again write this whole line. Okay, so so understand one thing, again we have to write this full line. So what we have to do, we will not write like this. It is not a good way of writing if you have to open it in Chrome. Okay, so let me tell you, come here, let me come to this one. Okay, so understand this. I hope you all know what is interface. WebDriver is an interface phase, and all the classes like Chrome driver is one class, Firefox driver is one class. Okay, so we are dealing with these two browsers as of now. So both these classes will implement this. So I hope you all will be knowing that in interface that we are only having abstract method, right? Method definition will be provided by the class which will implement it, right? So these two classes will implement this WebDriver interface. So here, instead of writing this way, you can see, instead of writing Chrome driver here, I will simply write WebDriver here. Okay, I think capital D will be here. So I will import this. You can see this is the package I have to import. So why I am writing this? Because if I have to execute my test case on suppose Firefox, so I do not have to write this whole line again. I will just say like this. I will just say driver equals to this step is alone sufficient to invoke the Firefox browser. So have you got the idea that why we are writing the interface here, or should I explain it in more depth? Because I am assuming that you know the interface concept in Java. So this is the reason I am writing, and you have to write this one only. Okay, that will be better. Put interface here, create the object of the class. Okay, and just say that this driver is of the type WebDriver interface. So what will happen? This line is saying this line. Okay, this line is saying that you can execute each and every method present in this class. Okay, that are coming from this interface but you will not be able to execute those methods which are already present in this class. Okay, I hope you all will be knowing about interface in Java. Is it clear or not? Then let me know. Sure, everyone. Again, I am asking. Please tell if you are facing any issue here. Okay, so I am assuming that everyone is knowing. So I okay. So as of now, and after whatever the code I will write, I will not write Chrome driver equals to new driver, right? I will just simply write this line. Okay, so that will not have any other effect on your code. If even if you see that if I have to again open the website, that will work same. Driver.get. What I will write, I will simply write. Suppose this is the website. Again, I have to open. Okay, this is the. So I will click this and then I will right click and then run as this. So again it will open the google.com and whatever the function you have to perform, you can perform after that. You can see, okay. Okay, so I think this part is complete, that how we have to trigger our browser and how we have to open some website on our browser. Okay, so now we will discuss the concept of locator in Selenium. Okay, suppose okay you have to perform some function here. Suppose I have to enter some text here. What I have to enter? Suppose I have to enter mobile. Okay, so suppose if I have to enter mobile, then how will I going to enter the mobile here? And if suppose if I have to click this button, sign in secret, if I have to click this button, then how I will do this? Okay, so what I am saying, locator in Selenium. Okay, I will come to the let me come to definition part first. So if I write locators in Selenium, locators in Selenium. So let me highlight this first and make it little bit big. Okay, so I think it is fine. Okay, so again, okay, so what will locator do? Okay, if you have to perform any operation on web element. What is web element? Let me talk about this first. What is web element? See, whatever the you can say, whatever the button. See, this is a button. You can see this is a text box, and you can see this is you can say kind of a button, not button. You can see whatever when you will click this, it will open. Okay, and if I click this, you can say so this is a kind of link. You can say okay because it has navigated me to another page. So all these are web element, right? This mobile is a web element. This search button, this is a search button. This search button is a web element. Okay. So all these you can say. Let me come here. If you can see this, see more. Okay. This is also a web element. Okay. So what I have to do if I have to perform any function. Let me again open my WordPad. Okay, here it is. If you have to perform any operation on the web elements, then locators will help you in that. Okay. So understand this. Again, I'm saying why we are using locator in Selenium. If you have to perform any operation on the web element, that action can be like you have to perform click on the button, and other action can be like you have to enter some text in the text box. So that what I'm saying, the locator will help you in doing that. Okay. So let us discuss very first locator. Okay, which is that locator. First is ID locator. Okay, it is the most basic one. ID locator will use we will use. Okay, so how we are going to use this locator, let us see. Okay, so first of all, let me come to this website only, amazon.com. Okay, so let me remove this one because we do not require it anymore. Okay, so if you have to perform any operation on this web element, this search box, okay, this is the whole search box you can see on the top is a web element. Okay, if you have to perform any operation on this web element, first you have to see what is the coding part they have written for this text box. Okay, so how you are going to see that coding part? Just right click anywhere on the website, right click. Okay, and click on this inspect. Okay, so there is one shortcut as well. You can use Control plus Shift plus I. So as of now I'm not using shortcut, so click this inspect. Okay, after that just I'm minimizing this as of now little bit. Okay, so click this. I hope you are able to see. Select an element in the page. Just click this once, left click it. I have clicked this one. Okay, after that when you move your cursor outside of it, okay, it will trying to highlight it. Okay, so I have to get the coding part of this text box. I will simply, what I will do, I will left click it one time, left click it, and in the output, not output, you can say in the bottom of my screen, you will see the coding part. See, it is when I am placing my cursor on this, it is highlighting the, you can say it is highlighting the text box above. So this is the coding part they have written for this text box. So we are dealing with ID locator. Okay, so you can see the ID is to tab search button text box, whatever is the ID. Okay, just copy this ID. Okay, we are dealing with ID locator again. I am saying, so I am focusing only on ID as of now. Okay, ignore rest of the this well name as well, autocomplete as well. Okay, so again I am saying, and moreover one thing, uh, let me copy this code or let me write it here. Suppose if you find anything like this, input ID equals to, suppose ID is xyz, then classes, and what is the class name? Just assume, suppose if sample is the class name, something like this. Okay, and after that input will close. So you should first understand what are these terms. Okay, so always this is the, whenever you will see any kind of code like this is the tag name, first element. Okay, this is the tag name here. Input is the tag name. Okay, you can see the tag name is closed at the end. Okay, input is the tag name, and what is this on the left hand side? These are all the attribute. Okay, so I will say ID is attribute, and I will say class is one of the attribute. Okay, so these are the attribute, and what are these things on the right hand side? These are just the value of this ID attribute. Okay, sample is the value of class attribute. So is it clear to you? Okay, these are all the attributes that will help us in performing some operation on the element. So ID is one of the attribute. Class, this is class, and this is the, you can say the class name is sample. Sample is the value of this class attribute, and inside the tag, okay, tag will always be present in your code, and okay, every time inside the tag, whatever the attributes you will define, you can define this, right? So this is how the basics, you can say the little bit of introduction about HTML, right? So this is the, you can say attribute. This is also attribute. Likewise, there can be so many attributes like values, value equals to something like 1 2 3 1 2 4. So this is also a value is also one of the attributes. So I will write it here. I will write here value is attribute. So is it clear to you how you will differentiate? Please confirm once. Okay. So where I was in website. So okay, so you can see here this tag name is input, ID equals to tab search text box. Okay, this is the ID. I will simply copy this ID. Okay, because we are dealing with the ID attribute and this is the value. So I have copied the value of ID attribute, and I will come to my Eclipse part. Okay, so I am doing this as of now. Okay, let me write it over the commented part. So first of all, this step is mandatory. We have to open the website, then only we can perform some operation on that website. So I will write driver dot. So this step is common. Whatever the locator you will use, this step is common. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to find the element, find that web element. So this is the method. I have to find the element first, and it is saying how you have to find the element. So I will say I have to find the element by ID. So I will simply write by dot, and I will write ID. Okay. You can see here. So I have to use the ID, and what is the ID value? This is the ID value. And then what we have to do, because okay, so again I will explain. Let me write it, otherwise it will be confusing. I have to write driver dot. What I have to do, again, first step is I have to find that element, web element. So I will use this method, find element. I will press enter, and inside that it is saying that how you have to find the element. So I will say I have to find the element by ID. So I will write by dot id. Okay. After that, I will put double quotes and I will provide the value of id attribute which we have copied. So this is the value we have copied from this. You can say this. Okay, this is the value we have copied from here, and then I will say what I have to do in the text box. Okay, I have to always send, you can say send the text, or I have to enter the text, okay, in the text box. So there is one method which is send key. Okay, let me remove this. So one method is there which is this one, send keys. So if I use this method and inside double quotes, suppose if I have to type you can say Nokia 1110, something like this, any text. Okay, so what it will do, first of all, it will, this step will identify where that text box. Okay, this is the text box. Okay, that step will identify. Okay, yes, this is the text box. Here it is present. After that, with the help of this send keys method, this method, what it will do, it will just paste this. We can say it will just write this text inside here. Okay, so we will check whether it is working correctly or not. Okay, let us say anyone wants to say something. Please keep yourself on mute. Thank you. So what I was saying that okay, let us try to run this program and see what will happen. So it will again open the Chrome browser. Okay, then it will find where this you can say search box is present, and then it will enter Nokia 1110 in that text box. Yeah, and it will say, see, you can see that, with the help of ID locator, it has just entered Nokia 1110 in the search box. So is it clear to you that how we are using send keys method? So yeah, yeah. This is the way you have to write, right? If oh, yeah, okay, you are saying right. But that tool is not used nowadays, right? People are not depending on that tool because I think there is some you can say disadvantages of tool, right? If you have very big project, then you cannot depend on recording only, right? So here you have to, if you have to do anything, you have to write the code and you have to write the method for it. This way, this Selenium will work here. Okay, 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 yeah, okay, okay. So what is your concern that you are saying that recording tool is better than, or you are, I don't know what else want to say. Please explain in detail. Then only I can tell. See, again I'm saying that even you have to perform any action on this one, anyone, you have to write one separate line of code, which is mandatory in Selenium. And I have not used that recording tool which you are talking about with respect to Selenium. Okay, I have only worked with Selenium, so it will not be good if I comment on this without using that tool. Okay, 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 yes, okay, yeah, 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 okay, 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 okay. No, I think you have to go one by one. Okay, if you have to, because this is the only way, right? You have to right click and then you have to go at that particular element by clicking on it. So this is the only way. Okay, there is no other something like you will go to all the you can say ID of that all the element within one place in one click. So it is not the one with Selenium. Okay, okay, okay. You are asking Cropath. Is it the right one, Bhaskar? Okay, see. Yeah, I got from Lakshmi's perspective. Yeah, Lakshmi was discussing one Cropath plugin, right? If you use Cropath, then you will within one single click, okay, you will get the XPath or you can say the ID of that particular element. But I will suggest you not to use the Cropath because we have to form our own locator, whether it is CSS, XPath or ID, because we should not depend on any third-party tool. Because what will happen? Suppose after 1 year that Cropath plugin will not be supported by the Chrome. So in that case, you will be stuck because you do not know how to make the ID, how to find the element by your own. So you should not do that. And coming to the question that how that whether we can get all the elements ID within one click, so it is not possible. You have to go one by one. And I will come to that crow path later on. As of now, we are not discussing that. I will come but is it clear, Bhaskar? Okay, you have to go one by one. This is how you have to work with Selenium. So what I was saying that we have entered this in the you can say text box. So this is one thing with the help of send keys method. Always again I'm saying if you have to enter any kind of text uh, in your text box, then you have to use this send key method. Okay, and here we are using the ID locator. Okay, so one thing is that, and suppose let me discuss one more method. Okay, let me come here. Okay, this is the one. This and suppose let me first find an element which have id. Okay, then I will come to that part. If I have to click this, okay, let me open another website. Okay, simple one. Let me say if I have to open this W3 schools. Okay, let me open Amazon only. Okay, this is the one. If I come to this sign in page, you will find this one. Okay, so what I will do first, we have to suppose this is the text box. Okay, okay, let me write it in the again. So you can see the ID is this. If I try to again, I'm saying how I've inspected this code. Right click on the website, inspect, click on inspect, and then click this arrow arrow one. Okay, first one. Click this and then just click here. I have clicked this, and you can see the coding part of this text box. Okay, so with the help of this ID, what I will do first, I will try to insert some text in this text box. After that, what our requirement is, okay, even if you do it manually, what you have to do is you have to click on this button. Suppose if I am filling any mobile number here, okay, then what I will do, I have to just click on this continue button so that it will ask for my password. So how we are going to automate this scenario with the help of you can say Selenium. So I think we are able to understand that how we have to enter any text in the text box. So I will do the same here as well. So first of all, we have to know what is the ID because we are using ID locator. Okay. So you can see ID is this one. This is the ID part. So I will copy this. Okay. And then what I will do, I will simply write, I am commenting this as of now. I will write driver dot find element. Okay. Again, let me write it again. Driver dot what I have to do, I have to find the web element. So I will use note this one. Okay, we will talk about it later. Okay, but as of now, understand this one driver dot find element by dot. Okay, how you have to find with the help of ID. So ID is this one, and then I have to place the value of ID, which is this one. Okay, so after finding that search box element with the help of id locator, what we have to do, we have to enter some text here. Okay, so I will use send keys method, and after that, suppose if I have to enter one mobile number. Okay, so this is the mobile number. Suppose if I have to you can say paste that mobile number in the text box. Okay, after that, what I have to do, I have to click on continue button. So you can see that this is the continue button. Is it okay? So here you can see if I try to inspect this button and I will click it, and you can see the id is continue, right? So this is the id part. Again, I am depending on the id locator, so I am using id equals to this. So what is the value? Continue is the value. So if I will write the same step again for this continue button, driver dot find element. Okay, we have to find the continue button first. How we have to find? With the help of id locator. So I will write by dot id, and inside that I will pass the, you can say, the value of id attribute. Okay, but this time I will not use send key, right? On the button you have to click. So yeah, so on the button you have to click, not you have to send some text. So what you will do, you will use this method. Click method is one which you will be using to click on this continue button, right? Here it is. So after that, what will happen, it will click on, suppose if I am entering some number 831, this is the number, suppose, right? After I will click this, so it will redirect me to the password page. Okay, so this is the scenario we are automating with the help of, you can say, Selenium, right? So this is the click method you have to use if you have to click on any button, right? And here we are using again the id locator. So if I run this, so again, let me first, okay, I think we have done it already. So I will just run it, and you will see that it will just print the number in the text box. Not print, it will just enter the number in the text box, and then it will click on continue button. So it has opened again, and then you can see, okay, one thing, we have done the mistake. We have to first start from here, right? This is not the desired page. Okay. So anyways, you can try that. First you have to click this just with the id locator, and then you have to navigate it first. Okay, so as of now I am directly opening this page. I have not provided the link here. This is the reason that it has not redirected me to the correct page. Okay, so I have to open this website, right? This, you can say, link. Just then after that click run. Then I will be starting from this you can say sign in page. So it will run again. So you can see that how fast it is. It has successfully clicked on continue button as well. So is it, are you able to see that how it is clicked on continue button? Okay, so we have just discussed that how this how we can click, or you can say how we can you can say insert a one value in the text box. Okay, so as of now I think this is let me talk about one method as well. Okay, suppose let me come back first. Okay, suppose if I have to get what is the text present in this continue button, in this button, right? This is the yellow button, and in that yellow button this is the text. Let me first inspect this, how you will get the text. Let me tell you. So suppose I think this is the one. Okay, so IDs. So okay, so what we are trying to do, we will get the text of this button in our console output. So how we are going to do this? Again, with the help of ID locator only, we are depending on the ID locator. So see clearly, if I click this, see this is it is highlighting this one, as well as if I come here, it is highlighting the button as well. But you see clearly, where is this text is present? Continue is the text which we are looking for. So you can see the continue is present here, right? Not here. It is the one, and you can see the ID of this one is continue announce. Here is that you can see the text. Continue text is present. If I copy this ID, and again I will do what I will do. Again I will write the same line. This time I do not want to click it, so I will commenting this step. I will line one simple line, driver dot find element. How you have to find? With the help of ID. So I will be using ID. Inside that ID, what I will do, I will simply pass the, you can say, the ID value. This is which is this one. Then there is one method which is get text. Okay, and it will return you one string text. So what we are going to get in this case, we are going to get that continue text present on the button. So I will click this. And okay, one more thing. If I have to print this first, I will catch that in one string variable. Okay, so whatever the text on the button written, it will give me this. And after that, what I will do, I will simply print this. Okay, this is the print statement. I will print that text. Let us check whether it is working correctly or not. Then I will again explain how it has worked. First, let me check. So it is enter the number, and after that it should. You can see here the continue is printed in our console with the help of this getText method. Again, I am saying, if you try to inspect it, if you try to inspect this one, okay, this one, okay, not this one, okay, consider this one only, okay, as of now. If I try to click this, you can see if I am hovering my mouse over here and here, it is selecting both, okay. But you should see where that login text is present. Login text is present inside this ID. Okay, this is the ID. Inside that login text is present, so you have to go with this ID, not with this one. Otherwise, you will not see the desired output, or you can see the desired text in your output. So is it clear to you that how we have to differentiate here? Okay, so I think I covered one ID locator. Okay, in that ID locator, you can say we have this is covered, this is completed. Okay, and with the help of this, we have discussed it. Method like get text is one of the method. Capital T will be here. Get text is the method, and then class, sorry, not class one. And we have discussed one click method here as well. And we have discussed the send keys method here as well. Okay, how to send something, text someone text in our, you can say, text box. Okay, so this ID locator is completed. So let me quickly tell you what are the other locators. Okay, then we will discuss these locators deeply in our next class. So other locators will be ID, class name, name is one of the locator, then link text is one of the locator, then this is also one of the locator, partial link text. And okay, so let me write here two more locator, right? Because okay, let me write it here only. See, these are the locator. This is one of the locator, most important among all, I will say. And this is also one of the locator, which is CSS locator. This is also one of the most important locator in Selenium point of view. So okay, so one by one we will discuss all of these. You can say remaining six locator as well. Okay, so as of now, I think it is sufficient for today, and I will be posting one assignment as well by today or tomorrow. Okay, so you can practice that as well. So is it clear to you whatever you have learned in this class till ID locator? So sorry, no, tag name is not a locator. These are the, see, I have listed already. You can say what is this? WordPad is here. So these are the most important locator you will find. Okay, ID, class name, tag name is not player locator. Okay. So thank you everyone for attending today's class. I hope it will be beneficial for you all, and we will. Sorry. Yeah, I will share that. I will share that. Anyways, I have recorded the session. When I will upload, you will get that. Anyways, I will share it. Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone. We'll see you again in the next lecture. Okay. So I okay. Okay.